Hey guys, welcome you all to my new channel HR Salim, and we are in NEET daily lecture series, and today we are going to study about anatomy of flowering plants lecture 2. In this lecture we'll be completing the tissue system as well as the whole complete anatomy of flowering plants in the point of NEET. Okay, so without wasting the time we'll move, and before that please do subscribe to the channel, and if you are new for that, okay, just go through the whole videos whichever is done already, okay, and the link will be provided in the description box. Like if you all like my way of teaching, just do subscribe and as well as share this video to your friends, okay, and it will be completely in English so the students will get utilized very easily, right? Without wasting time, again we'll go back to the subject, right? Today we are going to study about tissue system. Today we are going to study about tissue systems. Okay, so usually the plants are organized into three tissues. Usually all plants are organized based on three tissue system. One is dermal tissue, that is epidermal layers, okay, based on the layers, and ground tissue system, and as well as vascular tissue system. So three types of tissue systems are there. One is dermal tissue system, another one is ground tissue system, and vascular tissue system. When we talk about epidermal tissue system, which is a dermal tissue system, which helps in protection as well as it helps in prevention of water loss, and those components will be epidermal cells and peridermal, which will be present in the older stems and root cells. Okay, and when we talk about a ground tissue system, where the cortex part will be present, okay, so in that ground tissue system you can say it helps in photosynthesis, okay, food storage will be done and regeneration will be initiated, and it gives a mechanical support for the whole plant, and also it helps as a protective layer. Okay, and when we talk about the components, okay, parenchymatous tissue, collenchymatous tissue, and sclerenchymatous tissues are all the components of this ground tissue system. Last one is vascular tissue system, which one is arised from the cambium. Okay, so this has a component of xylem and phloem tissues. As we all know, xylem helps in the transport of water and minerals, as well as phloem helps in the transport of food. Okay, and you can see the location of type of tissues. Okay, so here you can see in the leaf part, okay, leaf tissues will be present in the stem, okay, cross section of stem, and as well as the cross section of root. Okay, you can see here the dermal tissue will be present in the outermost layer of the root, stem, or leaf, wherever. Okay, and the ground tissue is nothing but the cortex part. Okay, and the vascular tissue is the place where the xylem and phloem will be present. Okay, come we'll study in deep about all these tissues. When we talk about epidermal tissues, okay, epidermal tissues is outermost, it is an outermost layer, okay, it is an outermost tissue, and which is continuous. It is outermost and it is continuous, as well as it is elongated, and it is arranged compactly. It is arranged compactly. Okay, and usually a single layer of parenchymatous cells will be covered over a waxy cuticle. Okay, so before that, these epidermal tissues will be having, mostly it is abundant with parenchymatous cells. Epidermal tissues are mostly abundant with parenchymatous cells, okay, with a little small amount of cytoplasm towards the periphery, and it also has a large vacuole. So you can say this epidermal tissues will be covered with a wax thick layer. This epidermal tissue will be covered with a wax thick layer, and those layer is called as cuticle. Okay, and but this epidermal cuticle are absent in roots. Okay, so this wax tissue layer, or you can say cuticle, is absent in roots. It will be present in stem and as well as in leaves. Okay, when we talk about the apparatus, when we talk about the stomatal apparatus, that means the components of epidermal tissue, stomatal apparatus comes under a component. Okay, as we all know, stomatal apparatus, which is also found in epidermis, which consists of guard cells. Okay, so these guard cells are usually two in number, okay, which are helping in enclosing and opening for gaseous exchange. Okay, so this helps in gaseous exchange, and they are bean shape in dicot and dumbbell shape in monocot. Just mention it, bean shape in dicot and dumbbell shape in monocot, right? Okay, you can say that inner walls are thick while the outer walls are thin. Here the guard cells, where the inner walls will be thick, where the outer walls will be thin, right? Okay, they will be possessing a chloroplast, and which regulates in opening and closing of the stomata. So this is what a role of guard cells. Okay, next we are going to subsidiary cells. Subsidiary cells is nothing but in specialized epidermal cells will be surrounding the guard cells. Okay, if you say an epidermal cell is there, over this epidermal cells a specialized tissue will be covered. A specialized tissue will be covered, and those tissues will help in a guard type of cells. Okay, and they will be having a hair-like structure. They will be having a hair-like structure may arise through the from the epidermis. Okay, when we talk about root hair, it is unicellular. Okay, it is unicellular, and root hair function will be absorption of waters and minerals, okay, from the soil. And trichomes, it is multicellular. Trichomes are multicellular, and this function will prevent a water loss. It helps in preventing water loss due to transpiration, and it also helps in secretory actions. Okay, don't forget this. Root hairs are unicellular and trichomes are multicellular. Unicellular function is absorption of water and minerals, whereas trichomes functions are prevention of water loss due to transpiration. What is transpiration? Transpiration is nothing but excess of loss of water, loss of excess of water present in a plant. Okay, in the mode of evaporation. Okay, and it also helps in secretory actions. When we go to ground tissue, when we talk about a ground tissue is also known as fundamental tissue. It is also known as fundamental tissue system. It involves all tissues except epidermis and vascular bundle. Okay, so this ground tissues will involve all type of tissues except epidermal and vascular tissues. Okay, and what are all those type of tissues? Parenchymatous tissue, collenchymatous tissue, and sclerenchymatous tissue. So in this you can say parenchyma is one of the most abundant tissue which is commonly found in. It is commonly found in pith. Okay, it is commonly found in pith. It is also found in cortex, pericycle, okay, and medullary rays. Okay, it is present in almost like pith will be made up of parenchyma cell. Okay, cortex region will be covered with parenchyma cell. Pericycle will be made up of parenchyma cell. So and as well as medullary rays and primary stem and roots, almost everything will be mostly covered with parenchyma cell, because parenchyma cells are it is it has an intracellular space, whereas it helps in storage of food, and also it helps in photosynthesis. Okay, so most of the time the parenchyma will be present in almost all places, right? Okay, collenchyma and sclerenchyma, as we all know, collenchyma which helps in flexibility, and as well as sclerenchyma which gives the rigidity of the plant, right? So that is what about ground or fundamental tissue system. Next one, we'll talk about vascular bundle, vascular tissue. Vascular tissue, it is also called as conducting tissue. It is also called as conducting tissue. That means it is going to helps in conducting food and water, right? Okay, and there is a vascular bundle which composed of xylem and phloem. Okay, so both xylem and phloem will be present, and both together is called as vascular bundle. Okay, so here two types of vascular bundle will be there. One is where open vascular bundle, and another one is closed vascular bundle. Open vascular bundle means phloem and xylem will be present with cambium. Okay, phloem and xylem will be present with cambium. That means from cambium only the phloem and xylem will be originated. Okay, even after originating, the cambium will not reappear. Okay, it will not disappear. Sorry, it will not disappear. It will stay. It will stay together with the phloem and xylem, and that is called as open vascular system. But here in closed vascular system, once the phloem and xylem is getting modified or matured, then the cambium will be disappeared. Okay, so closed vascular bundle is nothing but phloem and xylem without cambium will be present. Okay, so this open vascular bundle will show a secondary growth. This open vascular bundle will show a secondary growth, whereas the closed vascular bundle does not show any secondary growth. Okay, there is no secondary growth, right? Okay, so if xylem, so this sentence is very important. If xylem and phloem within vascular bundle are arranged in alternate manner on different radii. The arrangement is called radial. This is very important. Okay, so usually the xylem and phloem will be arranged within a vascular bundle in an alternate manner. Okay, and those arrangements are called as radial arrangements. Example, you can see this in roots. Okay, this is what about epidermal tissue, ground tissue, and vascular tissue. That's enough. No need to worry about more deeper things, right? So this is enough for your NEET examination, right? Okay, you can see here xylem and phloem, which is present inside the vascular tissue. Okay, and the ground tissue, the cortex region is covered with ground tissue, and the outermost layer is called as dermal tissue, or you can say epidermal tissue, right? Let's move to the anatomy of dicot and monocot stem. Okay, most of the time I have seen students used to skip this, okay, because of a very difficult diagram. Okay, but actually this is very easy. Okay, just we have to remember the locations where it is present, and moreover in NEET examination we are not going to do any theoretical, we are not going to write any descriptive answers, right? Okay, so by the time just remember the locations of where this cuticle present, where this cambium present, okay, whether cambium is present or not. Okay, this is how we have to just remember the concepts. Okay, after as per studying this way, okay, it will be easy to clear MCQs when we are getting from this part. Okay, first we'll go with dicot and monocot stem. Okay, so when we talk about a dicot and monocot stem, there will be some similar characters will be present. Okay, there will be some similar characters present. Okay, first epidermis. Okay, see, you can see the outermost layer, which is called as epidermis. Okay, so this epidermis are single layer. Okay, so this epidermis are single layer. Both are single layer, but here you can say here it has a trichomes, which is a root hair. It has a trichome, which is a root hair, but here you can't see any trichomes, that is root hair. Okay, so presence of root hair will be there. Okay, presence of root hair will be there, and absence of root hair will be there. Okay, so there is no trichomes present in dicot, whereas there is there is no presence of trichomes or root hair in dicot monocot, whereas in dicot it will be present. Okay, next when we talk about hypodermis, hypodermis which is present below the epidermis region. Hypodermis which present below the epidermis region. Okay, in dicot, hypodermis is made up of collenchymus tissue. It is made up of collenchyma tissue, whereas this hypodermis will be made up of sclerenchymatous tissue. Remember this. Okay, so hypodermis in dicot stem, which is made up of collenchyma tissue. So for so you can make it very simple. Collenchyma, wherever you are studying collenchyma, flexibility, remember it. Okay, sclerenchyma, mechanical strength as well as rigidity. Okay, and next one when we talk about cortex, see, you can see a general cortex which is present. Okay, the cortex will be having a parenchymatous cell. Okay, which is present, which is filled with parenchyma cells. Okay, general cortex will be filled with parenchyma cell. But here in monocot stem, parenchymatous ground tissue will be present instead of well-defined cortex. Okay, so you can see here instead of a cortex, a parenchymatous ground tissue will be present. Remember, in dicot stem parenchymatous tissue, there will be a general cortex which is made up of parenchyma tissue. Okay, but here in monocot stem, instead of well-defined cortex, it is filled with parenchymatous ground tissue. It is filled with parenchymatous ground tissue. Okay, let's come to endodermis. Endodermis is the second most layer. Okay, so this contains a starch sheet. Okay, it contains a starch sheet. Okay, it contains a starch sheet. Okay, and it will be present in a starch grain. So this you can say this is like grains. Okay, this will be present in grains. Okay, and it will be single layer. The endodermis will be single layer, and all tissues are present inside the endodermis. So almost all other tissues will be present inside the endodermis. Okay, so you can say pericycle will be present inside. Okay, vascular bundles will be present inside. Where is the vascular bundle? Yeah, this is all vascular bundle. Vascular bundles will be present inside, and pith will be present inside. Okay, all together, these components are called as steel. All together, it is called as steel. This is one important point. Okay, so steel is nothing but a combination of, it is a combination or composition of pericycle, or all, you can say all type of tissues which is present inside an endodermis is called as stele. And what are all those type of tissues? Vascular bundle will be there, pericycle will be there, and as well as pith and medullary rays will be present. Okay, but where here you can't see any pericycle. We can't see, sorry, you can't see any endodermal layer at all. You can't see any endodermal layer at all. So here is an absence of endodermis. Okay, endodermis is absent, right? Next we'll come to pericycle. Next we come to pericycle. So here the pericycle in dicot stem, it is present inner to the endodermis, yes, and they are present above to the phloem. So above phloem, below endodermis. Remember this, pericycle will be present above phloem and below endodermis. Okay, and they will be present as a semilunar patches. Okay, you can see this is a semilunar patch. Semilunar means half moon. Okay, so it will be present in a semilunar patches, and they are all sclerenchymatous. They are all, pericycle are all sclerenchymatous. Okay, it is all sclerenchymatous and they are single layer, right? Okay, whereas in dicot, in monocot stem, there is no presence of pericycle. So pericycle is also absent. Pericycle is also absent. Coming to the medullary rays, okay, medullary rays here it is present, whereas here medullary rays is again it is absent. And this medullary rays is also made up of parenchyma. Okay, it is also made up of parenchyma cells. Okay, and next one, vascular bundle. Vascular bundle which are conjoint, and they are open with endarch. So I hope you know what is endarch. Endarch is nothing but endarch arrangement is where the protoxylem will be present towards the pith, which will be present towards the pith, and the metaxylem will be present in the peripheral region. Periphery of the endodermis. Okay, and this arrangement is called as endarch, and this arrangement is called as endarch. Endarch arrangement will be present, okay, in vascular bundles of dicot stem. Okay, this arrangement are usually ring-like manner. This will be in a ring-like. So this is 1 ring, 2 ring, 3 ring like that. Okay, it will be in a ring-like manner. Okay, when we talk about a monocot stem, here they are closed vascular bundle. Here they are closed vascular bundle. Okay, the vascular bundles are closed and they are surrounded by sclerenchymatous tissue. They are bundle sheets. So they are covered, surrounded by sclerenchyma. Okay, and they are scattered into ground tissues. Okay, and peripheral vascular bundles are larger than central one, absent. Okay, central ones. Okay, I will be giving all the notes for you. Okay, don't worry about it. Okay, and last one is pith. Yeah, obviously pith is there present, but here the pith is absent. When we talk about cambium, cambium here it is intravascular, okay, which is present and appear during the time of secondary growth. So remember, this part will be present only during the secondary growth. Okay, the cambium will be present only during the secondary growth, whereas here you can't see any cambium. There is no cambium. Okay, and secondary growth, yeah, obviously here secondary growth will take place. Here there is no secondary growth, right? There is no secondary growth. So this is what about dicot and monocot stem. So make it very simple. Dicot and monocot both will be having epidermis, but dicot will have a root hair, but monocot will not have a root hair. Okay, dicot will be having a hypodermis which is made up of parenchyma, and monocot which is made up of sclerenchyma. Okay, and here dicot will be having a general cortex which is made up of parenchyma, but in monocot, instead of well modified cortex, they will be having a parenchymatous ground tissue, right? Okay, when we talk about endodermis, endodermis is covered with a starch sheet, but here endodermis is totally absent. All tissues will be except epidermis, all tissues except epidermis will be present under the endodermis, within the endodermis. Okay, so what are all those tissues? Vascular bundle and as well as pericycle, right? Okay, when we talk about here, there is no endodermis, so it is all scattered. Okay, so when we talk about vascular bundle, here we'll be having an endarched vascular bundle, whereas here we'll be having a endarched. Here also we will be having a endarched vascular bundle. Okay, but this vascular bundle in monocot, the vascular bundles are closed, whereas here it is open, where it is open with cambium, and here you can see without cambium. This is what we studied earlier, right? Okay, so open vascular system means it will have a cambium which will grow in the secondary growth, which will show a growth during secondary growth. Whereas here in monocot, there is no secondary growth, so there is no cambium, so it is closed vascular bundle. Next, parenchyma, pith will be present and medullary rays will be present in dicot, whereas pith and medullary rays both will be absent in monocot. That's it. Okay, so hope you all understood. And next slide, I will be giving all the differentiation. Okay, whatever I explained till now. Okay, so you can just go through this and you can take a note of it also. Right? Okay, that is enough for your dicot stem and monocot stem. Right? Next, we'll go with dicot root and monocot root. Next, we'll go with dicot root and monocot root. It is also one of the simple way to study. Okay, so here, first epidermis. See, epidermis is present in both. Epidermis is present in both monocot and dicot. Both are singles layer. Both are single layer. Okay, and both will be having root hair. Both have root hairs. Okay, so that is one similarity which can see among dicot and monocot root. Next one, cortex. See, you can see cortex which is present, made up of parenchyma. Here also the cortex is there, which is parenchymatous. Okay, again both are similar. Coming back to endodermis. Endodermis, it is the innermost layer of the cortex, right? Okay, here what happened, you can see a single layer of barrel shaped without intracellular space. Okay, that is suberins. Okay, we can see a single layer. We can see a single layer barrel shaped. Okay, you can see a single layer barrel shaped. Okay, without intracellular spaces. There is no spaces at all. Okay, there is no spaces at all. Okay, and this cell walls are suberized. This cell walls are suberized. Suberized means which is filled, which is covered with suberin layer. The cell wall is covered with suberin layer. So what is the role of suberin? Suberin will not allow any water. Okay, it is impermeable to water. The suberins are impermeable to water and it will be having a wax-like material. Suberins are wax-like materials, so it will not allow any water to go in as well as to enter outside. Okay, fine. So that is what about endodermis presenting dicot root, whereas here in endodermis you can see only one single layer will be there, but it don't have any suberins layers at all. Okay, so that is what a difference among dicot and monocot root according to endodermis. Next we'll talk about pericycle. Okay, so here in pericycle, few layers with thick wall parenchymatous cells will give rise to lateral roots. Okay, so this pericycle here, it will help in giving lateral root development during the secondary growth, whereas here it will give only lateral growth development. So you can see here pericycle which gives only lateral root development in secondary growth, whereas here this will give roll off. It will helps in here the pericycle. Here the pericycle will helps in both lateral roots as well as vascular bundle. Okay, it will helps in giving, it will gives a few layer and will gives a rise to lateral roots as well as vascular bundles. Okay, so that is the difference between the pericycle which is present in dicot root and as well as monocot root. Next one, obviously secondary growth will be present here and there is an absence of secondary growth. Okay, vascular bundles, here these vascular bundles are radially arranged. Vascular bundles are radially arranged and they are conjunctive tissue. They are termed as conjunctive tissues and they are total 2 to 4 xylem and phloem patches will be there. Okay, there will be total 2 to 4 xylem and phloem patches will be there in dicot, whereas here it will be more than 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. See, more than six vascular bundles will be present in monocot root. Okay, pith will be present, but it is very small, even it may be absent also. Okay, it is invisible, but here the pith will be very large and well developed. Pith will be present. So this is all about dicot and monocot roots. Hope you all understood. So again, I'm saying just remember the locations and just remember the differences among. So this endodermis, what it is going to do in dicot, and this endodermis, whether they are going to present or not, and if it is present, what will be the differences among. So just based on uh, distinguished tabular column, you can read this easily. Fine. So I have provided the tabular column for you for your further reference. Right. Next, we'll move to dicot and monocot leaf. Okay. So dicot and monocot leaf, till now we saw about root, stem, and the last one is leaf. Okay. So how this dicot and monocot leaf appear? Okay. So this dicot leaf appearance, it has a dark green in the upper region, and dark green will be present in upper region, and light green will be present in the lower region. Okay, you can see when we talk about a leaf, the upper region will be dark. Okay, and the lower region, will be light. Okay, so that will present a dichotic. But whereas in monocot leaf, there is no such similarity. Sorry, that there is no that such differentiation. Both are similar. Both are similar in green. When we talk about number of stomata, here more number of stomata will be present in the lower surface. Okay, but here it is equally on both surface. Okay, so the number of stomata which is present on the upper surface of the dicot leaf are less comparing to lower surface, whereas in monocot leaf both surface will be having equal number of stomata. Here the shape of the guard cells is reniform in shape. Okay, and here it will be dumbbell shape. Okay, here it will be dumbbell shape. Okay, so you can see here a dumbbell shaped stomata will be present, and whereas here you can see a reniformed stomata will be present. Okay, and next one is bulliform cells. Okay, here the bulliform cells are absent, whereas here it is present. Okay, and mesophyll layer will be present in two differentiate way. Okay, you can see palisade parenchyma which is present in the upper region, and spongy parenchyma which is present in the lower region. So this part is called as palisade, okay, which is closely arranged, and this part is called as spongy, okay, which is loosely arranged. Both are mesophyll cells of the leaf, okay, where the chloroplast will be present. Okay, but here in monocot we can't see any such differentiation in this. All are similar. Okay, there will be a similar mesophyll layers will present all over the whole structure. Venation is nothing but the veins, the arrangement of the veins. Okay, here the arrangement of the veins will be reticulate, whereas here it will be parallel. Okay, when we talk about bundle sheet cells, here chlorophyll will be absent, whereas here the chlorophyll will be present. Okay, so in bundle sheet cells, in bundle sheets, chlorophyll will be absent, but here in bundle sheets, chlorophyll will be present. So this is all about dicot and monocot leaf. Enough. Okay, no need to study more than this. Just remember this tabular column. Just try to clear your practice papers. Okay, so you will get to know how the questions are getting from this type of tabular columns, Okay, fine. So last but not least, we'll be studying about annual ring. We'll study about annual ring. Annual ring is nothing but it is used to found in stems of wooden tree. Okay, so you might have all heard about this. Based on the number of lines, you can say the age of the tree, right? Okay, that study is called as dendrochronology. Okay, dendrochronology, which is a branch of science which deals with determination of age, of a plant, determination of age of a tree, okay, by counting the rings at the base of the main stem. Okay, annual rings will not be absorbed in roots. Remember, this is very important point. Annual rings does not visible in, or it will not be present in roots. It will be present only in wooden stem. Okay, so this annual rings will be of two types, formed in based on the year. Okay, based on the temperature and all these things. Okay, so two types of wood: spring wood and atom wood. Okay, so these are found in wooden trees, and those areas which the cambial activity is differentiated. Okay, and they will be having a seasonal variations, as there are annual rings will be more observed. Annual rings will be more observed in tropical region. Annual rings will be appeared more in tropical region, but it will not be present in temperate region. So this is again one important point. Okay, so make it very simple. Annual rings will not be present in roots. Okay, annual rings will present only in stem. Okay, but even in that stem, the annual leaves, annual rings will be appeared or it will be observed only in a tropical region, but it will not be observed in the temperate region, right? So this is all what about your anatomy of flowering plants. So with this, we are winding up this whole complete chapter. Okay, and I hope like this past two videos would have been helping you in much better way for your NEET preparation. Okay, if you have any suggestions, please do let me know in the comment section. I will be very happy to improve myself and to update myself. Okay, so and finally we are completing with a motto of us, which is think big and dream big. You can follow me in Instagram, that is Salim HRS, and don't forget to subscribe the channel. And tomorrow we'll start a new chapter, that is plant physiology. We'll start with plant physiology, right? Okay, so don't forget to subscribe. Just share this video, like this video, and comment in the chat box. Thank you so much, guys. Bye.